Hey guys, I'm Sarah. Every week I comb through hundreds of DIY videos preparing projects for our weekly maker show, Make or Break. Along the way I find some good ones and some great ones, and right now I'm gonna share them with you. This is Sarah's top 5 DIY dining room tables. Number 5 is Ari Bolani. Ari's sister was about to get married, so he decided to Brother of the Year himself and build her and her new husband a round dining room table as a wedding gift. He began by cutting the European oak boards down to length. He lined them up and glued them together. Once the glue was dry, he hand-planed down the squeeze out and used his router and jig to cut out the circle shape for the tabletop. Next, he focused on the base of the table. I have to note, in addition to the beautiful woodworking that he does, Ari's video production is just so next level soothing. Okay, back to the build. Once he was happy with how the base looked, he added a little "with love" note and attached the tabletop. The extra little details like the bow ties and the cut-off dowel rods are just beautiful. Number 4 is Mr. Build It. Alex somehow manages to make plywood and MDF boards look luxurious. How? Well, he shows us how. He used MDF as the base of this tabletop, then cut down a plywood sheet into smaller shiplap-like pieces that will make up the herringbone design on the top. He used glue and brad nails to hold the boards in place. Then he cut off the excess ends and then used those to finish off the pattern. Then he used smaller strips of plywood, cutting them down to a 45-degree angle to meet up on the corners, all crispy-like. Now that the tabletop was pretty much done, he started the metalworking that he needed to do to build the base. He used 2x2 steel tubing and shared how to easily weld them together. Then he spray painted the base black. After it dried, he attached the tabletop, then ironed on the edge banding, sanded down the top, and applied finish. So pretty. Number 3 is BYOT. Brent recently just became a father. Congratulations to you and your entire family. Okay, Brent started off his project at the lumber yard and found himself some gorgeous black American walnut that is milled on 3 sides. Once he got the boards home and cut down to size, he glued them up and added all of the clamps. Then he repeated the process for the second half of the tabletop and glued both pieces together. After the glue dried, he cut the ends flush and started hand planing the excess glue and imperfections away. Next, he used his router to round off the edges of the table. After many sessions of sanding, buffing, staining, more buffing, sanding, and mineral spiriting, and sanding yet again, this was ready to add to the base. Brent, the tabletop is gorgeous. Number 2 is one of my all-time favorite makers to follow. Get hands dirty. Christiana decided an extendable dining table was the best option for her little apartment. Using hard maple boards, she got busy milling down the wood for the tabletop. After she was happy with which boards would face up, she started gluing everything together. While that was drying, she used her bandsaw to carefully cut another maple board in half to make the extension leaves for the tabletop. Christiana goes into great detail with every step of this process and does a fantastic job explaining why she's doing what she does. Once all the tabletops were done, she started on the legs and support system for when the table was extended. She installed the hardware to the bottom of the table and applied finish. Christiana, this is awesome. Alright guys, coming in at number 1 is Paul's project. Paul sorted through his stash of walnut boards until he found some that would work for his dining room table project. He started ripping down the boards on his table saw, ran them across his joiner, and then planed them all down until they were smooth and crispy. Next, he figured out how he wanted the tabletop to look and used a biscuit joiner and biscuits to glue up the top. When the glue dried, he cut off the ends, then used a dado bit in his router to prepare the ends for the breadboard. So he definitely ran into a few issues throughout his project, but overcame every one of them and explains what happened to hopefully spare you from the same challenges. I really appreciate that. On to the legs. He added so much detail to this build just in the legs alone. Using maple between 2 pieces of walnut for the legs is what actually caught my eye in the first place. And it turned out absolutely stunning. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys liked my list, but of course, if you found a version of this project you think should have made it onto my list, leave it in the comments below and I will be sure to go check it out. Alright guys, do me a favor and like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to Belts and Boxes, what are you waiting for? Please go do that now and be sure to hit that bell so you don't miss any of our shows that come out during the week. You can catch me every Friday at 5 p.m. for the Power Tool Week in Review with Rob, and every Saturday at 6 p.m. for our next episode of Make or Break. We'll see you then.